Hey guys, this is Healthy Life Designing. I am Darian. Today we're in Granville, Ohio. We are at Rosewater Farm and our guest is Lindsay Nathanson. She is a multi-passionate creative that has started multiple businesses, and she's going to be sharing with us how she's not only an entrepreneur, a mother of 4, but she's also a farmer. So stick around because you're not going to want to miss all of the inspiration and all the creativity packed into today's show.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Okay guys, we are back with Lindsay Nathanson. Lindsay, thank you so much for inviting us to your amazing, gorgeous, beautiful farm. I mean, as I'm talking, I get to look at, there's dogs, there's a horse, goats. It's so awesome here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to have you here.
We felt like we had a treat just coming down here. I mean, like, oh my gosh, we're doing a TV show, but I feel like I'm getting a personal treat too, because this is your life. I mean, this is everything that you do is all right here.
It is. It is.
And speaking of right here, you're probably wondering about this behind us, which is a yurt that just recently evolved.
It did.
Can you talk about this?
Yes, I can. So we've been here for a couple of years now. We've been in Granville for 3 years, but we've been here on this particular piece of land for the last 2 years. So since I was a kid, like, this has been my dream to be on a farm. Kind of wore my husband down over the years. We moved a lot during the beginning of our relationship and marriage, and we had 4 kids in a short span of time. So eventually, finally, the timing was right, and we moved here and got this little piece of land. So I would say that Camp Rosewater, which is this yurt that we have behind us, has kind of evolved over time since we've been here. And especially with everything that's happened this year with, global pandemic.
Yes.
It has made it come together a little bit faster. I think one thing that is so important to me and our family and the way that we try to live is to be in nature and have nature be a huge part of our lives, our daily lives, what we do just to stay sane through it all. So I think a big goal was to share that with other people and the importance of being outside and being in nature and kind of unplugging from the world and remembering what's important and what makes you feel good and happy. And so I think that's why this is here.
Right.
We really want to share that with other people.
And it's gorgeous inside.
Thank you.
And so what can somebody expect from this experience?
A lot of fun.
Yes, it's fun just sitting right here.
I would say it's a very peaceful experience, or what we hope is a very peaceful experience. We've had some campers come so far, and it's funny because the animals are so curious about what's happening back here, and you come in, and a lot of times they'll all just file down and follow you and try to figure out what you're up to and where you're going. So really, as soon as you get here, you'll meet the animals, and to me, that's one of the best parts of being here, is being just around them and in their presence. And then the yurt is just hopefully a really comfortable and, like I said, peaceful experience. We just want people to come and relax.
And they can do a fire.
Just do a fire, roast some s'mores. You can walk around some of the trails here that we cut out, that we walk with our own kids and family. So just really to kind of slow down and get back in touch with nature and everything that, you know, Mother Earth has to offer, really.
Right.
So yeah, that's what we hope you'll enjoy, animals and a nice, peaceful experience.
And speaking of the animals, you're a farmer, which I love that about you. You don't hear about a lot of women that are raising 4 children, running multiple businesses and farming, and it's not this glamorous life, but can you tell us about it?
I can.
I think it's glamorous though.
It's my kind of glamour.
Yes.
And yours too.
Yes.
I would say besides being a mom, being a farmer would have to be like my favorite title on earth. Being like an animal mom is amazing. It's really what I dreamed of. But like you said, it is hard work and it's not always glamorous. And I tell people, and I don't know if they fully believe me, but I really enjoy starting my days in the barn with the animals. And by the time I come out, I'm so dirty. I have to change my clothes, usually before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not always easy. It's not always glamorous. There's a lot of poop shoveling that happens.
There's a lot of chores.
There's a lot of chores. I give our goats and alpacas their vaccinations, and I mean, it's a lot to keep up with and a lot to manage. And especially with winter coming up, it is a full-time job. And I mean, they are just as important to me and their well-being as anything else in the world. So it's a lot of work and just a lot of making sure that everyone's happy and comfortable and well-fed and have their water and most importantly have their love.
So what do your kids think about all of this?
What do my kids think about all of this? My kids are so funny. You know, they do what kids do. They easily and quickly adapt to where they are. So I think that nature and hiking and being out in the woods has always been a big part of our life as a family. This just took it to another level, I would say. So I think that they love and appreciate the space to run. But I mean, as kids do, they're always like, well, ride our bikes on the grass.
Right,
But
right.
that's what you do when you're a farm kid. You ride your bike in the grass. But overall, I think they appreciate it. And it's important to us that they have a sense of responsibility in caring for like the land and the animals and everything that comes along with that. And I think it's it's kind of an old-fashioned way, but I think it's coming like more in style.
I think so too.
For kids and parents to want to have this kind of like upbringing. So it's really important for us that they have responsibilities and keep up with their chores and the whole 9 yards.
Right. So I want to start by asking now about the furniture, because we are in front of the yurt.
Yes.
And you are all of these different things, but you and your husband also make furniture.
We do.
Which is, oh my gosh. So, I mean, I can't sew a button on. I can paint things, but I can never imagine trying to build furniture.
Well, my husband and I have always dreamed of being in business together. We didn't know exactly what that looked like for a long time, and I think, you know, we went through life for 12 years, I guess, before we started this business together. Knowing that eventually someday that would be part of the plan, and at some point things would come together and we would figure it out. So my husband unexpectedly lost his job actually last August, and although it was really hard and really challenging in the moment, we knew that it was part of this bigger picture and this bigger plan that we could maybe finally make these dreams come true. So we just took the plunge and started this business, and we've been rolling along ever since.
So can you tell us about the different types of furniture that you guys create and your process and where you do it?
Yes. So the biggest part of our business in the beginning was commercial furniture or restaurant furniture, big spaces like that. Obviously, we went through a pandemic not long after we started our business, and it kind of caused us to change course a little bit. And so now we're getting more into residential furniture. There's really nothing that we won't try to tackle at this point. But we have a lot of suppliers and people that we work with in surrounding areas. So a lot of it comes from different places, and all comes together in the end.
But I mean, you just started this last year. I mean, it seems like it's evolving extremely quick.
Yes.
And it's just the two of you.
My husband worked in the restaurant industry for about 12 years.
Okay.
So he is very much a people person. And he is able to make really quick relationships and long-lasting relationships. So in short, he has a lot of friends.
Right, that's great. That's great. He has a lot of friends.
That are kind of in, the market that we're working in. So that helped us to have a really strong and fast and easy start, to be honest. As I said, it hasn't been easy the entire time, especially some of the challenges that we faced with the world shutting down there for a little while. But I think that we're both so determined in really working for ourselves and working for our own dreams. And also, it's very important to us to put good things out into the world. Hope that we help people along the way. And I think that, in the face of all of these challenges, no matter what comes up, I think that, we're just holding on really tightly to the fact that if you put good things out into the world, good things come back to you. So
well, and that's what you did with your idea, because that just happened. And can you tell us a little bit more about what we were talking about when we got here, that you thought you would just start this idea and then poof, it's working almost too fast. But that's what happens when you have a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's unique, and it's outside. Everybody wants to be getting outside, experiencing something different.
Right.
And fun. And what better way to do it with good people that are putting all of this love and hard work and energy into something you care about so deeply.
Yes, I think that is the most important thing. If it's something that you really believe in and are passionate about, you just have to hold on through challenges and through adversity and know that in the end things will come together.
You're right, and you can't try to figure it all out. I think that's where a lot of people mess up with business and ideas, especially when you're a creative person. You can't try to figure everything out all at once. Sometimes it's just taking the plunge into, okay, we have this vision, let's just go for it. It's that risky business.
Yes. Something that I learned or heard this past weekend, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I think that is so incredibly true and important. It's just so valuable this time more than ever. We really don't know how things will end, and so many people are in our same situation. And, maybe the future is uncertain, but I know it's going to go in a positive direction, and I feel like it will for hopefully everyone collectively.
Right, me too. Well, we're going to take a quick break right there, and when we come back, we're going to talk about more of the talents that this gem over here, Lindsay Nathanson, has. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
It's a hometown bank. It's located here in Fairfield County. Branches are convenient. They're located here in Pickerington, where my office is. I'm in Lancaster a lot, and they have plenty of branches there. And I much prefer dealing with the hometown banks rather than the larger nationwide chain banks.
So far, everybody's been so personable, and for us to bank with the local bank, and we bank in Lancaster, it's been so wonderful because we'll call somebody, Steve will call somebody, and they'll get back to us right away, or they'll say, okay, we're going to make a decision in the basement tomorrow, and they'll get back to us, rather than calling a bigger bank where we had to wait, and we didn't always get the same person the next time we called for a investment banking opportunity, or getting something appraised, any of those kind of things.
Everybody is very customer friendly. A lot of times I'll bring my dog Bear with me, and the staff love him here, and of course he loves them and the treats that he gets. So it's just a nice kind of a family type environment.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey guys, we are back. We have Lindsay Nathanson. We've been talking about this amazing yurt behind us, her farm life, her life as a maker, as a parent, an entrepreneur, and it has been so much fun. We haven't talked about another creative part of you.
Yes.
And that's that you create macrame.
Yes.
Types things. See, now I can't speak properly. Types of things. And you do jewelry.
I do.
And you also dye these, and you do all of this here as well.
I do. So that is my other creative passion. Buffalo Realm is my macrame business, my fiber art business.
So how did you create that name?
How did I create the name?
Because it's a really cool name.
Okay, I would say that I've always just felt deeply connected to the Native American culture. So anytime I see a picture of a buffalo or anything of that nature, I just feel really connected to that and very peaceful.
Okay.
And my idea when I started this business was really to have some fun, make some beautiful things. But I also had this goal of saving a little extra money on the side so that we could travel with our family. We have 4 kids, and it's not always easy to put money aside for those things. So I thought, maybe this would be a fun way to make some of those travel dreams come true. So that's kind of where the roam comes in. Buffalo is just kind of like embodies all of the things that inspire me, and then roam, and that our little buffaloes are gonna roam.
Right, that is so cute.
Yeah.
And you make wall decor. I mean, can you talk about all of the things that you create?
I can. So I totally fell in love with macrame, and to be honest, people ask me a lot, where did you learn to macrame? Well, 2020, I learned on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
But it's actually been a few years ago now. But really, I like to be pretty thrifty, and if I see something that I like, but I think I could maybe make it myself, I usually try to make it myself before I go and buy it. So this whole thing was really born out of the fact that I wanted a plant hanger to hang some plants in my house. So I just went online to the handy dandy YouTube website, found a little tutorial on how to make plant hangers, and the rest is history. I totally fell in love with it. I've always been a maker. Even since I was a kid, I was making or drawing or crafting or something of that nature in any of my spare time. So as soon as I figured out how to make that first plant hanger, I was just totally hooked.
Right.
So it got to the point where I was making more and more things, and our walls were getting a little bit more full. And my husband said, I don't know if we have room for more macrame in our house.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe a business is born here. So I did it, and I have to say that being here in Granville in this community, it started here. Buffalo Rome started when we lived here, and everyone in this town is so incredibly supportive, and there are so many creative and talented people who live here, and I feel like support other creatives.
Yes.
Other makers for sure. I feel like there's a big community of people who want to see each other succeed. So I have to say, I feel like starting it here in this community and, doing the farmer's market, and such a good, I would say, just a good response that I received, and selling at Hope Timber, who I love so much. They were the first place that I went and carried my little plant hangers and said, hey, would you maybe want to sell these? And they did, and it just pushed me to go on and learn more and see how far I could take it. And
you took it to Etsy.
I took it to Etsy. So I have an Instagram page. I actually sell a lot just from Instagram and doing custom orders for people who reach out to me, and through Etsy as well. So it's just grown into this thing that I love so much, and I'm so incredibly passionate about, and creating the pieces for people, and just imagining that they hang on the wall in someone's home.
Right.
It still blows my mind. It's very mind-blowing that people want to have these things that I make and display them. So,
and what I think that probably blows the minds of the viewers is that you can be multi-passionate. That's something I feel like I've had lots of conversations with people about. I find myself, I'm not a maker, but I'm very creative, and I have to kind of dabble with different things,
right,
or else I just get bored. But what do you find works for you in finding the balance and being such a creative entrepreneur, farmer, mother?
I would say that my life probably changed for the better when I actually stopped trying to balance it all. I think that what I learned that is so important about life is that wherever you are in any given moment, if you give yourself to that moment, your life is so much more full and fulfilled. So I think that would be my advice, just to focus on what you're passionate about and focus on where you are in that exact moment. And I feel like that takes some of the pressure off of trying to figure out how to juggle it all and balance it all. And listen, I fail a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely don't keep it all together all the time with all of the different things. But anytime I feel like I'm off track, or I feel like, things are hard or not easy, or days are tough, number one, I go out and spend time in nature, or I might also go and make something, might go play with my animals or be with my kids. But whatever it is that I choose to do, that's what my focus is that I just try to be present in the moment with whatever it is that I'm doing. And I find that is a better system for success.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. And I think that takes off the pressure of having, feeling like you have to do all of these things, and it's like you're giving yourself permission. Like, it's okay to just be doing what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And for a person that is creative, or an entrepreneur, or a parent, or women in general,
oh, yes,
we put so much extra pressure. We just dump it on.
Yes.
But I wanted to learn more about how you do the dyeing for the macrame, because I watched your video, which we'll probably share.
Okay.
And how do you find the dye? And does it get all over you? Will it stain you forever?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, will you walk out being a blue lady when you're done?
Yes. Most of my friends and family know that at any given time my hands are either black or blue or whatever it may be. Most people who have some sense wear gloves when they're dyeing things.
Right, okay.
But for me personally, I just don't do well with that. I like to be able to feel the texture of what it is that I'm working with. And the gloves, for some reason, just mess with my creative flow. So I can see
that.
Dyed hands.
Well, when you want to be hands-on,
Right,
it kind of takes
yes.
away when you're not getting involved with the textures of things.
Yes, I find that I'm so focused on the fact that I don't like the gloves, and I can't get into what I'm honestly trying to do.
Right.
And the dye process is very different from macrame or anything else, really. And every single time I dye anything, it teaches me a lot about who I am as a person.
Really?
It does. Like we've said a little about the pressure we put on ourselves as women and moms and business women and all of these things. It's easy to get caught up in the strive for perfection. Is this perfect? Is this the absolute best it can be? Every time I dye things, I remember that things aren't meant to be perfect all the time.
Yes.
It's very much a fluid experience. It's not.
I like that.
It just reminds you that striving for perfection is.
It's not realistic
the wrong
for one
place
thing.
to go.
It's the wrong place to go, but it's not realistic anyways.
Right.
Because if anybody or anything is perfect, there's something wrong with it.
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons I enjoy dyeing things. It just reminds me to go with the flow. That's the only way to survive life and fiber art.
And back to the furniture, you and your husband working side by side, you've learned a lot about all of the furniture making, and you get in there and you go to work too in that area.
Yes, I do. I like to call myself the designer in the relationship. My husband is really good too. He's got a very tasteful eye. But I do very much enjoy the different, just in the same way that macrame and dyeing fiber art is that way. It's also so fun creatively to go in and choose different woods, or what metal will this pair well with, or we could powder coat this. So it is so fun to get into that process too, and it's very much right up my alley creatively in the same way that making things is. So yeah, it's another great opportunity for me to make things.
Right. If people want to learn more about any of these businesses or how they can set up a camp, I don't know how all that works.
Okay.
Could you tell everybody kind of how they could get into learning more about all of these different amazing things that you offer?
Yes. Reach out to me. So we have an Instagram page for all of our businesses. So our furniture business is called North Street Supply, named also kind of after our farm and where we are. And then I have Buffalo Rome Co., and that's the fiber art business. And then we have a page for Rosewater Farm. So I'm pretty busy marketing for all of these businesses. And then you can find on a website called Hip Camp. If you've ever been on Airbnb, it's a lot like that website, but it's just for a camping experience. So you'll find a lot of different places to camp, whether it be a place like this, or some people just share their land. So you can find this on Hip Camp under Camp Rosewater.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us to this amazing place that is your home, and where you're able to create and make all of these passions and dreams and visions come true. And I know I'm very inspired. I wish I could have a place or somebody that would have the patience to teach me maybe about woodworking. I'm always trying to give my husband projects. He didn't wake up and have these carpentry skills, but I'm always like, let's do this, or I have a vision for that. And bless his heart, he will try to create my vision. So I can only imagine if you have two creative people together.
It's fun.
It's fun, I'm sure.
There's never a dull moment.
I bet not. Well, guys, that's all that we have time for today. Lindsay Nathanson, check her out on all of her social media platforms and support her businesses. And once again, we're in Granville, Ohio. I can't get enough of it lately. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll see you soon.